about the internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Got it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. RP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to an episode of 24 Hours Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. This video is going to just scratch the surface on how Ripple and its digital asset XRP is going to succeed in this crypto sector 1,000,000,000% and become the #1 most utilized asset on this planet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. We are going to go over some hard hidden facts that is going to be very hard to disagree with. And if you're going to disagree with them, go ahead and tell me the reasons why in the comments down below. Let's start off with this part. We covered it briefly yesterday, but today we are going in depth. Banks will adopt the ISO 20022 message format for its Fedwire fund service on March 10th, 2025. And it's going to be a single day implementation. If you guys recall, this is on the ISO 20022 website, payments SE member list. We have Ripple here. And then also on the registration management group, we have RippleNet, along with very familiar names like NACHA, which we are going to go into, the DTCC, MasterCard, and much, much more. I'll leave the links in the description down below. And look at all the member entities here. We have Australia, Canada, Brazil, Bank of England, China. They're all working directly or indirectly with Ripple. There are gaps in the US real-time payment system. Who will fill them? Take a listen to this. FedNow and the clearinghouse's RTP solution won't be interoperable, but thanks to a standardization approach called ISO 20022, FedNow and TCH can send and receive messages using the same standard. But again, this is not going to kick in until 2025. This is a step closer to instant settlement and domestic financial communication in the US. Sending money across borders poses a whole new set of challenges for RTP systems like FedNow. Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, and the Philippines have piloted cross-border initiatives together, folks. That is screaming Ripple all over it. Go ahead and smash that like button. Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, and the Philippines have piloted cross-border initiatives together. I'm not going to show that evidence because if you don't believe me, then you're in the wrong. You got to go watch my previous videos. With the launch of RTP in Indonesia and New Zealand in 2022, the Asia Pacific region leads the world in its journey towards standardization and regional interoperability. NACHA, back in 2014, Ripple Labs joins NACHA Alliance. While Ripple Labs is fundamentally a software company, our positioning in this emerging space requires us to be not only technologists, but also influencers. Our membership with NACHA Alliance is another opportunity to further our mission of working with everyone within the industry to help drive innovation around the movement of money. And here's a little diagram. We have the Federal Reserve on the bottom left, settlement infrastructure being moved over to Ripple. We have the automatic clearinghouse, messaging routing moved over to Ripple is what they're saying in the future. NACHA works closely with various government agencies, including the Federal Reserve, US Treasury, and state banking authorities. This is a big deal. NACHA, originally the National Automated Clearinghouse Association, manages the development, administration, and governance of the ACH network, the backbone for the electronic movement of money and data in the United States. Keep in mind, back in 2020, Ripple partner FIS teams up with the clearinghouse to set up quick payments for US banks. And they went on to say under small and mid-sized US banks to implement real-time payments, that will prevent these institutions from having to hire extra staff or make large investments in equipment or infrastructure. So they don't have to spend, thousands and thousands of dollars hiring staff to create this new infrastructure. They're going to partner up with FIS. Well, this is FIS, International Payments, on the Open Payment Framework. They mentioned FIS integration with Ripple's blockchain-based solution is being used at our clients for making cross-border remittance payments. The integration covers transaction, creation, ingestion into the network, and upfront transparent disclosure of fees and forex rates before the customer confirms the transfer. So let's go over it. The clearinghouse partners up with FIS. FIS utilizes RippleNet technology, and they've done these tests. And just going back to Ripple's roster, Ryan Zagone, Federal Reserve's Faster Task Force for 2 years and 2 months, and then he came on to Ripple for almost 5 years, acting as Director of Regulatory Relations, consuming all that knowledge from the Federal Reserve. We got more. Okay, this is just scratching the surface. Jess Chang. This is crazy. Well, we have counsel and officer, Federal Reserve Bank of New York for 4 years and 4 months. Deputy General Counsel at Ripple for 2 years and 6 months. And then to the IMF as a counsel. And then back to the Federal Reserve Board as a senior counsel. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is the first video you're watching, or if you're not educated in this Ripple sector, these two are just one of dozens of individuals that have correlations to the IMF, SWIFT, the Federal Reserve. There are so many individuals that have been working with Ripple. There is no other crypto company out there, and that is a fact. What I'm saying right now is a fact, that has a roster built like Ripple. Go ahead and smash that like button. That is a fact. That is undisputed. You cannot argue that. NACHA and Accenture joined forces to create online community to support standardization of payments in the US. This is back in 2018. So 4 years later, when Ripple is still a partner. Accenture and Ripple were partners since 2015. Payment infrastructure RippleNet Inc.'s deal with Accenture. Okay, we got a bomb drop coming, folks. NACHA, the Electronic Payment Association API Standardization Group, and Accenture are collaborating to identify, develop, and launch a community of application program interface API resources, including a microsite and developer portal to support API standardization across the payment ecosystem. If you guys remember Finestra, RippleNet via Fusion Total Messaging. Going on to Accenture Consulting, the Unchained. Keep in mind, this is big. You know why? This isn't about the SEC going after Ripple, folks. It's much, much bigger than that. In 2016, Emirates NBD and India's ICICI Bank worked with FIS Financial to trial blockchain across areas including remittance and trade finance. And in early 2017, the National Bank of Abu Dhabi, known as First Abu Dhabi Bank, became the first Middle East bank to partner with Ripple, a global payments network built on blockchain to provide real-time cross-border payments to its corporate customers. Get ready for this bombshell. Saudi Arabia is catching up. Earlier this year, SAMA signed a deal with Ripple to help the country's banks settle payments using the US-based company's blockchain software. They went out of their way just to say the US-based company's blockchain software. And this is why Ethereum and Bitcoin are China controlled. And folks, some people, argue that, but time will settle all arguments.
China.
We know America's fallen behind and they have nothing to hang on to. And that's why we always say this is a targeted attack to utilize Ripple in the next world order or whatever that's going to happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but the next couple of years are going to be absolutely insane. That followed last year's success proof of concept from Saudi Arabia's AI Raleigh Bank, the world's largest Islamic bank, in which it used Ripple's blockchain to transfer money between Riyadh and Jordan. That marked the first time the technology has been used in Saudi Arabia. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and smash that like button. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. This is Accenture. Years after they inked a deal with Ripple, okay, years later. Just keep in mind, patience is going to pay off really handsomely. And today we just scratched the surface. If you guys want, go crazy on Google, take all the information you gained here. Again, this is just scratching the surface. If you guys have been in this space for a long time, you know this is scratching the surface. But this ISO 20022 and FedNow single day implementation on March 10th, 2025, probably going to get delayed, but exciting times ahead for the XRP community. With that being said, I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and we'll be back with another.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.